lead us in it, but I'm sure you all know it, and Ellen is going to lead us in the national anthem. Putting your cell phones on silent. Meredith Gammon is going to bring our invocation.
Let us pray. Our gracious and most heavenly Father, we come to you now to thank you for this opportunity in which we can gather together. We thank you for this day. We thank you most for our Rotary Club and all the great things that we are able to do together. As this new year starts, we just hope that you will give us the attitude to do great things in our community, do great things in our businesses, and do great things together as a club. Be with us today and always, and we especially ask that you be with those who are without a warm meal or a nice place to stay over the next few days when the temperatures drastically drop. We especially thank you for the partnership that we were able to have with the Salvation Army again this holiday season. We look forward to all the wonderful things that the Army is able to do with the money that we were able to raise as a group and together. Please be with our speakers today, and just to help us to have an open mind to all the great things they have going on at Benedict College and how we are able to help. Help us to leave this place with great attitudes to always do more, to do better, and to come back here safely next week. Bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies and us to your service. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Before you sit down, I remembered to do the four-way test. Just kind of think of it as, just part of the formalities as we start. Okay, the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you very much. You can sit down, and don't forget the card fund. Somebody would just kind of be in charge of the table and moving that around the table. That'd be great. Okay, Mike Norman has got our fellowship introduction guest and visiting Rotarian.
Thank you, President Howell. I want to give everyone a great Rotary welcome and New Year. Glad to see everyone's back safely. Unless someone just walked in, we do not have any visiting Rotarians. Somebody just slipped in, raise your hand. Just check. We have several Rotarians who brought guests with them today. If I could, I'll ask the Rotarian to stand. Please introduce yourself and then your guest to us. I ask someone to kind of give me a hand today.
I'm Carrie Powers from Free Times, and I brought Hyatt Drake with me. Hyatt just started today with us at Free Times. She's a 20-year veteran of radio and television in this market, so welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm Dottie Park, one of your favorite eye doctors here, and I'm proud to have with us our extern for 6 months, Scott Berry, who's a rock and roller also. He's from Columbia and from the University of Alabama School of Optometry. Roll Tide. Scott, glad to have you.
I'm Jim Morris, and I'm proud to have my two grandsons here today. This is Riley Chambers. He's the elder. He is a Carolina scholar and in the Honors College in the biology major in his sophomore year. This is his little brother, Taylor Chambers, who is a freshman at Wake Forest. He was redshirted this year, played on the scout squad, and is a very happy Wake Forest student.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephen Creech, and I'm happy to have my friend James Fuller here today. James owns a dental practice consultancy called Fuller Management Services, and he and his wife Anna have 2 daughters, and they live here in Columbia, good friends of ours. Welcome, James.
I'm Gene Rogers, and it is my high honor and distinct pleasure to present to you one of the founders of that great American law firm, Rogers Townsend, Sam Waters.
Welcome, Sam. Are there any other visiting Rotarians or guests? If not, we have one more. Kenny.
Have as my guest Adele Beavers with the University of South Carolina.
Thank you. If not, everyone have a great week.
Thank you, Mike. Tom Jackson has our health and happiness. Tom?
Good morning and Happy New Year. We've got some good news as we start the new year with a few tidbits. Jerry Pate has retired. John Hinks has had both knees replaced, total replacement, and is here with us doing well. Emerson Garrison Gregory Smith has his 4th child born right before Christmas. And we have an article in the Metropolitan this month on Alan Robertson. If you haven't seen it, it's a great article. And the other news is Reese Williams, which is with us today, the 3rd, has been elected president of the University of South Carolina Ex-Legal Society. Another retirement, Midlands Tech College President Marshall Sonny White is set to retire also. As you know, our state is very fortunate that we have 2 teams finishing in the top 10, and that is great for our state. Both, we just say go Gamecocks and Tigers, it's that way. Tonight is the last night of football, and we look and we say, what have we learned? Here's looking at last year after the championship game that Alabama won. Just think about this for a moment. Last year, Alabama beat Arkansas, and Arkansas fired their coach. Alabama beat Tennessee, and Tennessee fires their coach. Alabama beats Auburn, and Auburn fires their coach. Playing the championship game, they beat Notre Dame, and the Pope retires. Now, all we have to do is schedule Alabama to play Washington.
Thank you for that, Tom. Is Kenny Heath here? Kenny, thank you so much. We almost had like a Rotary convention at the President's House at Christmas, the University Associates. And Tom and I had a great conversation about some of his Gamecock exploits there. And it just reminded me that we got a number of socials coming up. And Jason, I know I'm putting you a little bit on the spot, but would you mind just kind of giving us a prelude to that? Because at lunch, we don't always have enough time except to see our friends and catch up with them a little bit and meet new people. But we're trying to have some outside events that you get a chance to kind of have a cocktail or coffee or something with folks and get to know them a little bit better.
Good afternoon. As Hal mentioned, we set out this year to do a series of small events around the city for members to come to. It's not required attendance, but I do believe they count as makeups for meetings to come to those.
That's right.
So there's a benefit if you're having trouble. We typically are going to move them around days of the week and times of the day to try to make it for everybody to be able to come. My own schedule has caused a problem with our next one, which was scheduled for next Tuesday at evening, but I've been called to the home office for the week, so I won't be able to do that. But we're going to try to go the week after. We're going to try to do interesting things. That one is going to be at the Woodrow Wilson House. It'll be a chance for people in Rotary to see the house before it's opened up to the public, to kind of get a sneak peek. We'll have beverages and food. Next month, in fact, I'm meeting after this meeting to plan. We're going to go to have a private tour of the Gettysburg exhibit. We'll do that as a breakfast type meeting. And they'll just be fun events that we can kind of do through the year. If your business or any groups you're involved in have an idea of something we can do that's fun, we'd really like it. So I hope you all keep that in mind. And as soon as I get the date settled for the January event, I'll make sure everyone knows.
Thank you, Jay. Some of you are having, maybe if you try to communicate with Debbie, it's been, her email has been down. We're in transition. We finally got the website, the new website up. We got the website up and her email down, but you know, that's kind of the way it goes. So if you've been trying to reach Debbie, you might better call her until we get that straightened out. The other thing I want to mention to you is just as we move into this year and the things that we're going to be doing, the website's going to be very important for our recruitment of new members. And been trying to put some infrastructure in place. John and now Mark, the president-elect, are all three of us are working together to kind of really get our hands around how we want to grow as a club. And so we're going to be putting that together. I want you to go to the website, pay attention to it. We're going to continue to drive information there. I want you to think about what you have to contribute to the website, because we can put a lot of stuff there and we want to be able to use it. All right, so a lot of you enjoyed getting hit up for money in the fall. Everybody called me and told me how much they loved us raising money. I just really appreciate all those positive phone calls that y'all send my way for the strong arming that we were doing. But we do it for a purpose. We do it because we give away a good bit of money in scholarships. And Neil Coyle, who works very much behind the scenes with students and trying to get them interviewed and with his committee, he has got a couple students with him today. He's going to come up, introduce them, and show you guys a little bit of why we twist your arm so much. Neil?
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. I think there's no better way to start the new year than to show you what your investment does. Each year, for the past several, I've had the pleasure to participate in the selection of our scholarship recipients, which is always a difficult task, but very rewarding. And I want you to meet a couple of our scholarship recipients, and they'll give you a little update on where they are on their life. The first is Miss Calhoun Taylor.
Hello, thank y'all so much for having me here today. First of all, I just want to show my gratitude for the substantial investment that you all made in me 4 years ago. Not only have I received an education from one of the best liberal arts schools in the country at Wofford, but I've also spent countless hours taking advantage of the amazing opportunities that Wofford has to offer outside of the classroom. As a part of the Space to Impact Scholarship Program, I've organized fundraisers, mentored students, hosted a prom for over 60 local special needs high school students with over 200 volunteers at my command. I've competed in business plan competitions and served as a consultant for Boston Interior Consultant Group. For 2 weeks, I lived in an orphanage in Old Mutare in Zimbabwe. And then I spent a week touring Kenya while on safari, even seeing the rare Big Five. I road tripped across the country and backpacked through Yellowstone National Park. Last summer, I lived in Aspen, Colorado, and worked as a summer conferences coordinator at the prestigious Aspen Institute. I personally organized events for speakers and attendees such as Governor Chris Christie, Senator John McCain, Katie Couric, Condoleezza Rice, Jeff Bezos, just to name a few. Through all these amazing experiences, I've been incredibly blessed to see the world and a lot of our great country. Despite all of these sunsets and sunrises, South Carolina is still and always will be the most beautiful home to me. 4 years ago, when I told my parents that I wanted to go to Wofford, they told me to get a pen and a piece of paper and start writing some scholarship essays. In my essay to you all, I wrote about how proud I am to live in South Carolina and how important it is to me to make a difference here. As I prepare to graduate, I look forward to doing just that. I'm currently looking for a sales opportunity in the technology or medical industry with one caveat: please let me live in South Carolina. There's no way that I would have been able to go to Wofford and take advantage of so many extraordinary experiences without your generosity. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, and go Terriers.
And now I'd like to introduce Gerardo, I mispronounced his name, and I have for 4 years now, Santana.
Thank you very much. I'll try to be as gracefully spoken as here. I'm Gerardo Santana. I'm a student who graduated from Cardinal Newman High School 4 years ago in 2009. I'm a 2009 Columbia Rotary Scholarship recipient. I'm an architecture and packaging science double major at Clemson, and I've completed the coursework for both majors in 4.5 years. Thanks in great measure to your help, as well as other financial aid that was available to me, I was able to go to college. I tried to take full advantage of the opportunity being offered to me. As a recap, I chose architecture because that's kind of what I was exposed to in the program in Kershaw County, Seagull, for anyone who knows of it. In addition to the classwork, I participated in a lot of extracurricular activities. I was part of Central Spirit, which supports our Clemson athletics. I also was part of Students for Environmental Action and helped plan the first and second Earth Day events at Clemson, as well as having the opportunity to go to conferences in Chicago, Washington, D.C., representing South Carolina, as well as here in Columbia for the Peak Conference. In my program, I also was able to study abroad and make connections with companies such as Itene up in Valencia, Spain, and go see other places around Europe. I'm done with all my coursework, but after this break, I'll be going up in 2 days to New Jersey to complete a 6-month co-op before I can graduate in August with Mondelez International. Thank you very much for all your help. It's been a great blessing for me and my family, and we would ask God to bless you as well, and go Tigers.
Be a nice photo for the new website. Okay. Well, after hearing all of that organizational competency you were on there, we'll probably be calling you to help us raise money for the Rotary Club. Thank you, Neil, for all of your hard work and your committee. Would all of those that serve with Neil on the scholarship committee please stand that are here today and be recognized? Sonny? Yeah, that's a real commitment of time that they take, maybe 2 whole days out of their schedule to sit down and really meet. And there are a number of people, a good many students that do not get a scholarship that are great students as well. So we want to continue to kind of work into that. And, guys, I would encourage you as you go out and into your career to remember the 4-way test and make sure and get that a little card to you for that you carry around, because it helps you in all the decision making that you have to make in business and life going forward. So thank you very much for that. Okay, so John Johnston, would you come up and introduce our speaker?
Thank you, President Howe. And that was great timing to do that today, being that Benedict College, one of our community schools and leaders here in the community, is doing a presentation today. Our club works very hard each year on raising money for students to be able to go to college. You know, it's great to see they're capitalizing on that opportunity. It's hard to believe that it was 15 years ago, I think, when I graduated high school. But I received a scholarship from our local Rotary club, and it means more than you can imagine for these students and families to have that opportunity. Today we have Jason Brown and some of his colleagues here today from Benedict College to tell us some of the great things that are going on there. Benedict has been a part of our community since 1870. Jason is a graduate of Benedict, and he was a former employee of NBSC. He joined the Benedict staff in June of 2013 as Director of Major Gifts. Benedict College is the home of the award-winning Benedict College Gospel Choir and has a local annual economic impact in our community of $106.7 million. Please join me in welcoming Jason Brown to our club.
John, thank you for the introduction. Hal, I appreciate you setting this up and allowing us to come out. Hal Stevenson is a friend of mine, and I appreciate him setting that up, so thank you for that. My name is Jason Brown, the Director of Major Gifts for Benedict College. As John indicated in his introduction, I was with NBSC for approximately 14 years before coming over to Benedict in June to head up the Major Gifts Division. I've also got with me Dr. Rashadre on the end. He's our Dean of the School of STEM. We've got Larry Sally, he's the Director of our Business Development Center, and we've got Ms. Kim Hunter, she's the Director of Marketing for the college. So essentially what my job is I'm responsible for. Sorry. Do I need to hold this close? Is that a little bit better? I apologize. I won't recap all of what I said. I'm Jason Brown, the Director of Major Gifts for Benedict College. Essentially what my job is, I'm responsible for corporate outreach in the community for the college and business development, increasing awareness and visibility for the school. I served as Vice President of NBSC for approximately 14 years. I was the college's banker for over a decade. I was responsible for most of the funding for the construction on campus. I think you should have handouts of most of what we have going on campus, and I'll talk about that momentarily. You know, as we know right now, as we talk with some of the young scholars that we have up here, it's a very important time for education. It's never been more important. And at the same time, getting funding for college is more difficult, and we can't go to Washington for everything. So we're doing more outreach with faith-based initiatives and businesses in the community to help with that for fundraising, scholarships, etc. And you know, pretty much what I'm going to do next is I'll go briefly through the slides that we have. What we have going on campus right now, we're expanding the David Swinton Center, and we have handouts on that. That's going to be a 2-story cafeteria expansion. It's going to be 61,400 square feet. We're increasing the seating on that from 270 to 547 seats. We're remodeling the kitchen. There's going to be a new food court there. And it's going to be a state-of-the-art facility. It's also going to have outside businesses in there. It's going to have, I believe, a Burger King, a Freshens, a chicken and waffle, and an Asian Express, I believe, in addition to the normal cafeteria that we have. I think it'll be similar to what USC offers over there, but it's going to be a world-class facility, as you can see, and that should be completed, Kim, I believe, in March, somewhere around there. At the same time, we're also building a new campus bookstore right next door, housed on our campus. And that is going to be, I believe, that's going to be a 2-story building, 9,185 square feet. On the first floor, we're going to have a campus bookstore. On the second floor is a TV, radio station, and broadcast center. So that's just a highlight of what we've got going on. We're also doing new construction to our Lamar building, which Dr. Rashadre will speak about. That's involved with the School of STEM. And we're also doing new construction on the Milton Kempson Graduate Studies building. And Kim Hunter will speak a little more about that in what she's What I'll do next is introduce Dr. Rashadre, the Dean of the School of STEM. He'll speak, then we'll have Larry Sally come up, and then Kim Hunter, and then I'll cap it at the end, and we'll open up for questions. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year to all of you. And we just wrapped up 2013. We had a very productive year at Benedict. A little bit about myself. Almost 2 decades I'm in South Carolina. As an educator, I think every day I contribute to the lives of young folks. I came here in the medical school as a researcher. I spent 5-6 years, then I took this job. Every day I drive in the morning with a mission to educate these folks, this minority community, predominantly African American students, females and males. I came here as a brand new assistant professor, entry-level job, and now I rose up to the rank of full professor with tenure and the dean of School of STEM. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. I saw the biology major at USC. I'm a biology professor. I'm very proud of my area that I serve, and I serve the entire school. We have at Benedict, as we wrap this year, the South Carolina Academy of Science Conference on our campus. I took all this team to host that in our campus, very proudly and successfully. I got millions of emails from my folks and colleagues that we have done a wonderful job. Especially our students did a wonderful job being the ambassador to escort people throughout the campus so that they don't have any problem. I'm very proud of that. We hosted Extreme Technology Week at Benedict with 26 teams all over the state in South Carolina. Whole week we have STEM program. So we are very much like to promote education in this state and help the community to grow and foster, recruit in the STEM pipeline, because STEM has so much promise, like dentist, the medical doctor, they all come from the field of STEM, engineers. And Benedict has, we have in my school, 3 departments, biology, of course, chemistry, environmental science. Then we have physics and engineering. And 3rd department is math and computer science. In the computer science area, we are now partnered with University of South Carolina, Midland State, Columbia College in the Course Power program. The Course Power that came from initiative of the State Department of Commerce, ITology. So every meeting I go, I hear about computer science program, that how we can improve the learning, and also we can improve like digital design so that people in the industry, they come and make new avenues for inroad to job or employment opportunity for the new folks. So we are partnered into many things in the state. In-brief program with EBSCO. We are also partnered. We have DOE funding, that part of the Lamar building that you are seeing in the sketch, that's going to be our radiation and safety training program. We have been doing it, despite of the fact that we didn't get the building yet. We are doing in old alumni hall every summer, but now we are going to get into the building very soon. We'll be doing that, and we're going to have 3 state-of-the-art laboratories for our environmental engineering and environmental health science program. Those are new programs. Environmental engineering program, the 2nd in the state after Clemson University. No HBCU has environmental engineering program. We have. We have transportation engineering and logistics studies. So we, in my time, this is my 5th year as the dean, my tenure, we try to craft the program in a manner so that it can connect to industry, opportunity, job opportunity, and help these young folks to find employment. That's the way we are doing in the School of STEM. And we are also having some engineering program, computer engineering, electrical engineering. Electrical engineering enrollment is 2nd highest in the school. First biology, of course, huge enrollment, and then we have electrical engineering. Our electrical engineers are in BMW, serving industry in the state. So they are working, and we are partnering with GE and other industries so that we can get better co-op opportunity for our students. So we need your help, we need your support, and we can work as a partner. We can do a lot better job to be connected to the community. If you have any question, I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you for your attention.
Larry Sally, our Director of Business Development.
Thank you, Jason. As you said, I'm Larry Sally. I'm actually the Executive Director of the Benedict Community Development Corporation, and the Business Development Center there at Benedict College is one of the programs that we operate there. When they asked me to come today, I said, well, why would folks want to hear about the Community Development Corporation and that mission? But, you know, it's timely in, you know, as we begin the new year, we start to think about our own lives, the lives of our, you know, our neighbors and friends out there in the community. There are a lot of folks that we serve that are part of our program that are what we call disadvantaged. I grew up here in Columbia, went to school right out there in Dennisville, for those of you all that are familiar with Columbia. I went to Benedict College. When I was a student at Benedict College, one of the streets here in Columbia, and some of you all may be familiar with it, Reed Street, which intersects Hardin and Tunach, was probably one of the worst streets in Columbia. I mean, it was difficult there. They had everything from prostitution to drugs, you name it, whatever vice you needed, that's where you could find it. A number of years ago, the city of Columbia, Benedict College, Allen University, some of the local churches all banded together, and of course they initiated an effort to clean up Reed. And as you know, even though there's construction going on it now, it's a totally different place. We cannot promote community economic development in our communities and in our neighborhoods without bypassing these communities. We have to be involved in those areas. Dr. Swing, when he came into Benedict, decided he would create a community development corporation to serve that need, and that's when he asked me to come in and join him. I was glad to be a part of it, and since that time, we've been able to expand not only to the communities that serve Allen University, Benedict College, but throughout the Midlands. We serve about 7 communities. Over time, we've done about $13 million in development. And that's, I guess, rather surprising. But, you know, these communities have a lot of needs. We've developed over 30 homes in those communities, affordable homes that individuals have gone in and been able to buy. One of the first homes that we developed over there, right down the street from the college, the individual lived in public housing. She was able to move out of that home, buy a home for the first time, put her family into that, increase her household wealth, and of course leave a legacy for her family. And that's what we're about promoting. Trying to create individual wealth, of course household wealth, and community economic development. Some of the programs that we offer through the CDC include housing counseling. All of you are familiar with the housing crisis, the economic crisis that we faced over the last several years. We saw the direct brunt of that. A lot of folks in foreclosure, a lot of individuals who were over their heads with homes. We did a lot of counseling for those in foreclosure, and we did pre-purchase counseling to assist those individuals that were purchasing homes. Out of the individuals that we provided pre-purchase counseling to, which is close to 2,000 folks, through our records, we found that only 2 of those individuals have lost their homes. Only 2 individuals. We also provide technical assistance and small business loans through the Business Development Center. Those of you that are familiar with Tunach Road, the Charlie W. Johnson football stadium is right across the street from our office. The Business Development Center is a symbol of what Benedict College, the community, Allen University, and those residents around the area have committed to do in terms of community development. We've served over 200 businesses through our loan program and over 1,500 individuals through our technical assistance program. We provide technical assistance. There are a lot of business owners who are very good at what they do. Some of them are bricklayers, others are professionals in their own right, but a lot of times they lack some of the small things that they need to get over in terms of their business. It could be a little financing, could be purchasing equipment, or those other items. Through our program, we're able to do both. We provide them with that technical assistance to help them build their business plans, help them build their marketing. Also, we assist them with capital to be able to expand their businesses. And through the past 4 years since we've been offering that, we've created over 50 jobs here in the community. One of the other programs that we offer is what we call financial literacy training. A lot of us take for granted the things that we learned right in our own homes. When I was a kid, my father passed. My mother used to pay bills on Sunday evening. She'd sit down and write out checks. Matter of fact, I can remember back in the day when you went downtown and paid your bills in person. You didn't pay them online. You went down to SC&G or those kinds of places, took the check. She'd actually give us cash. Could you believe giving kids cash nowadays? She'd give us cash. We'd go down. We'd pay the bills in person. We'd bring back all of her change. And we bring back the receipts. You'd be surprised the number of folks that don't have that experience. You see the proliferation of these check cashing businesses, these title loan businesses. Well, they prey on communities similar to the communities that we serve. So through our financial literacy program, we try to train individuals on how to budget their money, how to manage their money, and of course, how to save their money. We've trained over 2,000 people through that program. We've been doing that since 2000. And a number of those individuals have purchased homes, gone back to school for their education. I think at last count, 50 of them have started their own businesses. But that's what Benedict College does. Over the past 15 years, we feel that our goal is to promote community economic development, which stabilizes our community, which creates jobs, and which promotes development, and of course attracts other individuals. Just 2 weeks ago, we had a young lady that came down from New York City, lived there all her life. She hadn't had family that had grown up, I guess, here in Columbia. She came through the community, saw the changes in the community, and I mean, she had only been there 24 hours, decided to purchase a home, one of the homes that we had for sale. She had gotten an inheritance, bought the home cash, and I can say now that she is a proud member of Columbia. She's now a resident here. She says she plans on making roots and, of course, giving back to the community. And that's what Benedict College and the CDC are about, and these are the things that we continue to do. With your help, we can also always use some individuals to help mentor some of the businesses, some of the clients that come through our program. If you're interested in doing that, please feel free to call us. Jason and Kim can certainly give you our contact information. But we appreciate all the efforts of all the folks here through the Rotary and, of course, through the Columbia community to help us serve those that are underserved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Larry. Larry does a great job for us. I want to introduce Kim Hunter. She's the Director of Marketing for Benedict College. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And on behalf of Dr. David H. Swinton, the Board of Trustees, faculty, and students, we thank you for allowing us to come speak with you for a few minutes about what we do at Benedict. Because a lot of people drive by. How many people just drive by the campus and kind of never been in? But we want to invite you over to the campus. We're an open campus. We do a lot of great things, as you can hear, but a lot of people don't know how much we have grown since Dr. Swinton has been there. He's getting ready to go into his 20th year. And since he's been there, the campus has doubled in size. When he first got there, it was only 1,200 students there. This last fall enrollment was 2,517 students. What's unique about Benedict is 50% are women and 50% are male. That's very rare in any college situation, but we're working hard because we like what we're doing. We always tell people we're doing God's work over there because these students are growing and developing and are doing a great job once they graduate from college. 50% of our students are actually from South Carolina, but 46% of our students are from out of state. So we do a good job in bringing out-of-state students here too, and they end up being residents of South Carolina. We also have about 3.5% of our students that are international, and we're constantly working on bringing new students from wherever they live to come to Benedict College. It's a unique school. It's unique in the sense that while 50% come from South Carolina, we get a large number of students from Georgia, North Carolina, as well as New Jersey and Florida. Those are our top 5 areas that we receive students from. So we're constantly working at bringing students to Columbia. Our top cities for enrollment, of course, is Columbia, #1, then Charleston, then Sumter, then North Charleston, and then Greenville, where some of our students come from. So we have a nice little diversity. You've heard from Dr. Rashadre with STEM, but our biggest school is HOS. We call it Humanities, Arts, and Science. They're our largest school, followed by education. We develop a lot of teachers, a lot of principals come out of Benedict College. STEM is #3, followed very closely by business and economics. We have a lot of students that are interested in business, so you will be seeing a lot of them coming to you for internships and jobs, of course. And continuing education, we just started this program a couple of years ago, but that is a growing area, as you know, because a lot of people are going back to school to further their degree. And so we've been in the business of helping them complete their bachelor's degree. We have lots of accolades, and I love talking about them, but one of the things that a lot of people do not know is that we have one of the 2nd largest undergraduate populations of the private schools. You know, we're a small school, but a lot of people don't realize how much smaller some of the other schools are. And we've had that recognition for a while, as well as being the 3rd largest historically black school, UNCF, United Negro College Fund school, 3rd largest in the country. And so we do a good job there. One of the things that we send out as information, you'll see is one of our newsletters. This is the forum. This is the last one that we did. If you get a chance, you can look at it and see some of the things that we've been doing in the community, as well as some of our graduates. This issue focuses on some of the graduates that come out and what they're doing. You'll see they're doing great work too. For the 3rd year in a row, Benedict's received the Higher Education Community Service Award. One of the things that Dr. Swin did when he first got to Benedict is he made it mandatory for students to do community service prior to graduation. They have to do 144 hours in the community, donating their time, whether it's reading to seniors or working with young people. And it's good because that's part of leadership, and that's what we do. And that's one of the things that is unique about Benedict, and we continuously receive these different awards for it. One of the awards that I think we're most proud of is the Washington Monthly Award. That award is given to colleges who create mobility amongst low-income students. And, you know, we're also credited for producing cutting-edge scholarship and research, because we're very creative in how we can package and get them through college. So I don't want to bore you with more of our accolades, but I just want to say again, thank you so much for allowing us to share information about what's going on at Benedict College. And I want to say we're open for questions at this point, because they left me up here to do the questions. Yes, sir.
How many students do y'all house on campus, if any?
Believe it or not, we house over 70% of our students on campus. One of the things you may realize is that we're a small campus. Our main campus is only 24 acres when Dr. Swin first got there, I'm sorry. From New Jersey, so I talk with my hands. But what we have done is we've been able to purchase apartment complexes outside of our area. Some are off Red River Road, some are near St. Andrews area. But we're able to, most of our students want to stay on campus. And I think once this cafeteria opens in March, all of our students are going to want to stay on campus. But 70% of them, of the 2,500 students, stay on campus, which is high. The median number generally is 50%. That's the national average. So we think we do a good job. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I'm familiar with the square block area where Benedict is. Where's the rest of it downtown?
Good question.
Okay.
That football stadium is 60 acres. If you think about when you start at Two Notch Road, think about that stadium going all the way back to that CVS. That's the blockage. That's 60 acres adds to that amount. Our actual square footage, what we own, is actually 200 acres. There's other, I guess we're including our residence halls in that area. We have a continuing ed building, which is around Doctor Circle. You know, where you exit near Richland, and that back area there, that's another one of our facilities where we have the continuing education. And while we don't have graduate level courses, that's where those areas are going. We're always planning ahead. That stadium, our football stadium, where the stadium houses about, I think we have 11,000 seats in there. But that's also the area where we have our baseball facility, our softball, and coming soon, our tennis courts. And we even are thinking about soccer. And we don't have a soccer team yet, but we're always thinking ahead. These are things that we feel are a great asset to the community, because we've been able to use that facility for a lot of major events. A lot of the games were there for, was it Hammond and Heathwood Hall, and some of those major, don't get me talking sports, but those major competitions were held there. And it's good because it's a smaller environment. They enjoy it, and we enjoy hosting them. Any other questions? Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Since you are in marketing, I'm just curious, how do you reach out to students from New Jersey and Florida? And why Jersey and why Florida? Not other surrounding states.
I think it's the I-95 corridor. When you think of historically black colleges, there really are no historically black colleges in New Jersey. The closest one is in Philadelphia. Actually, that's the oldest one, Lincoln. I'm a graduate, actually, of Howard University in Washington, D.C. But most of the people who we get come to Benedict College because their grandmother attended there, or they have an aunt or a relative. We're big on family. And so they may have come to homecoming or something like that. We also go out to recruit there. But one of our biggest recruiting, and I'm glad to hear you say websites, is our website. Believe it or not, those individuals who do an application on our website come to the school. We have a little video out there. I mean, it can be much improved, but it actually does a great job for us, because these students right now, they're looking at schools on their smartphone. And so they're able to kind of connect with us. We no longer have to do that, you know, television commercial up there. But I'll tell you what, I do radio, and I do radio all across the state. I do billboards. Right now we have a billboard campaign. We have a billboard in Atlanta. We have a billboard in Charlotte. But we have several billboards across the state. We looked at all the major interstates. And I see Dr. Marshall back there, so I want to tell all my secrets. But I'm just kidding. We have several ways that we get students to come to Benedict College, and especially our alumni. Our alumni are one of our biggest cheerleaders. I saw we had a question here.
What do you do with your incoming freshmen to help them succeed?
I'm so glad you asked that question. We have a freshman institute, and that was one of the things I was supposed to mention. Our freshman institute is something that we created about 3 years ago. And what we do there is each student has a coach. And what we do is each college competes against each other. We use the idea of sports and for GPA, so each month each school wins the GPA award. But what the coaches do, the success coaches, is they make sure that these students are going to class, they're not having any problems, if they need tutoring. If they miss class one time, they get a knock on the door. It seems a little extreme in some cases, but we find that freshman, sophomore year are the years that they get discouraged the most. They're missing home, and it's more rigorous. So what we do is we try to bring them in with a kind of like a partner. They call them campus pals. Now, I had a campus pal when I went to school, and I think I saw him twice. But this time, our success counselors actually track them, follow them, know their grade, communicate with them, and so it's beyond just a counselor situation. It's a friend success situation.
Can I add to that question? We are the Freshman Institute is kind of transformer that we started under QEP, Quality Enhancement Program, and each faculty, I'm a part of faculty, we report every 4 weeks their grades. So if anything, and their attendance, so if their attendance are on iPad, so every day attendance goes, and then every 4 weeks the grade goes. So if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, we have coaches, their tutoring center, so faculty work with the coaches very closely. Coaches are welcome to come to the class. without any disruption, of course, and then sit there and see what's going on. So all kinds of intervention plans are there. As Ms. Hunter mentioned that we lose a lot of freshman students, that the year we need to really be strengthened. And now we are also doing a sophomore initiative that is also going to be very soon implemented. That these 2 years are very vital for the students to stay on college, on their path. Thank you.
And our Freshman Institute program is being looked at by SACS as a model program. Because if we succeed in this, other schools may be interested in doing this. So you'll be hearing more about the program because it's only in its second year, I think. So we're trying to get through 4 years to see what the success rate is of particularly students coming back and staying and doing better with their GPA. But we're already noticing higher grades. We're already noticing better classroom attendance. So we're succeeding in that way. Yes, sir.
You said you're the third largest historically black college.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the number 1 and 2?
I believe it's Clark, Atlanta, and also I believe Morehouse. Is it larger? Yes.
I'm curious about the last page of your handout.
Yes.
What is the Radiation Safety Training Center?
Okay, so that back over to science.
Actually, we received a grant from Department of Energy, DOE. We have some very nice faculty member in my school. I'm very proud of some of them. We wrote proposal. I'm a grant writer. I have the skill. I started writing proposal for this college, and I had a lot of NIH grants before. I'm slowing down now, but those grants are really. This is one of them. So we proposed that in the state we are going to do the radiation safety center of excellence actually proposed and then training program. So we are now going to get that building and have that center established. But the program we already started. Right these days you have to already do the work before you ask for money.
Wow.
So that 80% work should be done in any grant proposal before you propose that. All the people working in the medical school, they know how rigorous it is.
Wow.
So basically, Voorhees College, Allen University, all the neighboring HBCUs, Morris College, we recruit students in the summer. And they stay on campus, their housing, their cafeteria, everything. Initially, we have been paying from our grant, all of them. And they're taking this program. And we are very much closely working with the University of South Carolina, the radiation safety. Dan Zulowski is my good friend, longtime friend. We have been working on that. And then now, I think Lynn Dobson is their director. So we work closely and invite them to our program. They guest lecture and also hands-on, the things are going on in the laboratory. So this facility will open up a real good opportunity to get skill and get certificate so that they can be quickly go to the job market. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? Yes, sir.
A formal relationship with the panel, or are they separate and distinct?
That's always the number 1 question. Why don't you just merge these 2 schools? Yes, we do. We work together with Allen on several accords. We actually start our program the same year. Start registration the same time. But the main difference between a Benedict College and an Allen, and this is going to sound like Catholics, Protestants, but it's true. They're African American Methodists, and we're Baptists, and so therefore the way their school is kind of governed is very different from us. Our board of trustees, 1 man, 1 vote, where they have a bishop, and the bishop basically controls a lot of the financing and the way that the school is academically run. So we do work together academically, but as far as merging, I don't think that's going to happen. But we don't want it to happen. We think 2 strong schools on that corner does great service to Columbia. Any other questions? Well, thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you so much for allowing us to come out today, Al, John, and also we put some pledge and donation cards on the table. If you all could be so kind as to fill those out, maybe take them back to your businesses. have them think about Benedict College as they think about donations and support for the community throughout the year. And one of the things that Ms. Hunter spoke about was a Freshman Institute. And we were supposed to be building that new facility for the Freshman Institute, but because of funding, we've not yet built that. So please continue to keep Benedict in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much, Hal. Thank you.
Jason, I do not have 4 of these, but y'all can pass it around and use it occasionally, or maybe twist my arm when I can find this morning. Thank you very much. Appreciate it being here. You know, it is very exciting, Jason, to hear what you guys are doing. I think the sense that I have is, you know, coming out of the Great Recession, that everybody is on board, from colleges to businesses and others, to figure out how we can in the private sector work together to build our community in the best it can be. You guys are certainly doing a great job in your area, and we're very proud to have you here in town. So thank you very much for being here. Okay, John, we have a program next week, I believe. Is that right?
All right, correct. Next week, we have Dr. Percy Mack, Superintendent of Richland School District 1. And then we're off for January 20th in observance of Martin Luther King Day. And on January 27th, we have Ray Tanner, the Athletic Director of South Carolina.
All right, great. Jim Smithwick is on vacation this week. He sounded really relaxed when he called and left me a message. Again, with that, Ellen, I think we'll just close, and everybody have a great new year, okay?